Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and back to a brand new video. So today we're going to be talking about, of course, everyone's favorite show that I watch, so you don't have to, The View. Now, of course, in today's episode, I knew it was going to be a hot topic because if you've been watching the news, Donald Trump is staying true to his word when it comes to illegal immigrants in this country who have been sucking up our resources. And finally, we have a president who is taking action, okay? He didn't just promise these things like most politicians and then do nothing. He's actually living up to his word, and the left is losing their ever-loving minds. So we're going to watch this clip together of the segment of the Cackling Hens discussing the immigration crisis and what's happening right now. And fasten your seatbelts, folks. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Roll it.
U.S. border czar Tom Homan has started using ICE agents to conduct a nationwide raid and the U.S. military to carry out mass deportations of undocumented citizens. Now, he told ABC News chief global affairs correspondent Martha Raddatz that this is just the beginning. Take a look.
Is this what we will see every single day, ending in what the president has promised is millions and millions being deported?
Yes, but you can see the numbers steadily increase, the number of arrests nationwide as we open up the aperture.
The estimates of perhaps those who have been convicted or arrested in the past, 700,000 to over 1 million. So after you do that, then you go after everybody who is there illegally.
If you're in the country illegally, you're on the table.
The acting Homeland Security Secretary said in a statement, criminals will no longer be able to hide in America's schools and churches to avoid arrest. What criminals are hiding in schools?
How many MS-13 members are the age of 14 to 17? Many of them.
So, is this the immigration system fix that people had in mind when they voted? Do you think?
I think if you were, I don't know yet. It's kind of, it's disturbing what we're seeing, and the headlines and all the coverage would make you think that there's this massive deportation, but by numbers, contextually, President Obama still remains the deporter in chief. Even if Trump continues at this rate, he will not even hit what President Obama hit in 1 year with 400,000.
Wait, so the first ever black president was the deporter-in-chief? The one president who deported more illegal immigrants than any other president before him? And he wasn't white? Oh no. Remember that stat when Sonny starts talking.
To answer your question, which is this the immigration fix that this country wanted? I think absolutely there are certain people that wanted to see this kind of pain and destruction for a certain group or type of immigrant. Because if you look at the numbers, yes, the number of immigrants that come from Mexico or of Mexican-born are the largest. But the next largest are Asians. 28% of them come. I don't think they walk across the southern border. I think they come by plane. The next largest are Europeans. I don't think they walk either. I'm just saying immigrants, right? Oh,
not undocumented, though.
A lot of them are undocumented.
Actually, that's not the stat for being brutally.
They overstay their visas. So they're undocumented. The Europeans that come here that overstay their visas are undocumented, but they don't come across the southern border. So I think there's a very clear message as to what this president wants the look of a criminal migrant to look like, what an undocumented migrant. And I think that's racist. Let me also say...
What's that? The clapping seals? Yes. Clap ahead, seals. Clap. Of course it's racist. Of course it's racist. Like I said, remember the stat from earlier when Sarah was talking. So it wasn't racist when the first black president deported more illegal immigrants than any other before him or present day. But it is racist now that Donald Trump is the one who's doing it. And by the way, the majority of the people who were being deported when Obama was president were from Latin America. Oops. But of course, the narrative isn't, he was a racist, right? No, he was just doing his job protecting Americans. But when Donald Trump does the exact same thing on what? Day 6 or 7 in the office, all of a sudden it's because he's racist. And then Sonny keeps talking about, well, Europeans and Asians didn't come from the border. Yeah, that's because geography-wise, they live in a different country that is away from the Americas, unlike South America. So what exactly is your point? Those who live further away from the border, you know what he's doing? He's putting those people on planes and then they're flying over. That's what planes do. They're flying over to the land, they're landing, and they're going home. Yeah. What else, Sonny? What else?
He has circumvented established law by weaponizing the U.S. military.
Can you explain what we're getting about that?
Generally, before being deported, you have an asylum case pending in front of a court, and you must appear in front of that judge. Right now, there are 3 million asylum cases and 900 judges. That is why the bipartisan bill that was going to be passed addressed that particular issue instead of dealing with it legally in that way. And I'm not saying he's doing it illegally. What he did was declared a national emergency that qualifies as a foreign invasion, and on the U.S.-Mexico border, not any other border. And that cleared the way for the Department of Defense to deploy the military at a 60% increase.
Okay, let's break this down for shits for brains for a second, shall we? So, first of all, 3 million asylum-seeking cases. Yes, that is an invasion. Okay, we're talking about 3 million people who knew how to get around the system to cut the line to get into this country. So I find it really funny and rich that Sonny is now complaining because Donald Trump is doing something unprecedented to push forward this movement and to fast forward this movement, right? She has a problem with that, but didn't have a problem when the system allowed for people to cut the line and to fast forward the process for them to come into this country illegally. Because I guarantee you one thing, 3 million people are not asylum seekers, okay? 3 million people were smart enough to realize that all they had to do was claim asylum seeking to get into this country, and then they'll get their court date later while they get all the benefits of being in this country. That's what Donald Trump is talking about. That's what he's addressing, and that's why he is moving forward with this so quickly, because he knows exactly how we got here. And then, of course, when she mentions how Donald Trump is talking about it being an invasion, he's talking about the southern border, she mentions...
And only the southern border.
Well, it wouldn't be the Chinese border, right? It wouldn't be the Russian border, right? Because majority of these asylum seekers are coming from where? South America and the border. Crazy how that happens. So that will be why he's focusing on the southern border, because the crisis right now is on our border with South America. Oh my God, how does that work?
I just think that our military members, many of them did not join the military to do that job. And
oh, really? So you're going to tell military members what their job is supposed to be? Because last I checked, when you join the military, you are serving your country in any way possible. Which means, yes, protecting our southern border, Sonny.
Let me say just finally that they are also racially profiling in doing this. In Newark, New Jersey, a business venue on Thursday, was raided. And among the citizens that they detained and questioned was a Puerto Rican man and a military vet. For the 50 million thousand time, Puerto Ricans are Americans and disproportionately serve in the military. And so I say all this to say
that you're a fucking idiot. You know what she fails to mention in that whole, they question the military man, they question the Puerto Rican. Yes, they questioned, and then guess what? They let those people go. You know why? Because after questioning them, they realized that they were legal. And so therefore, they were free to go. Now, if they kept them and they locked them up, then you would have an argument. But they didn't. You see, when officers enter any type of situation, they have to do what's called investigating, which means asking questions. And yes, hate to break the news to you, but Puerto Ricans like myself, Latin people tend to all look alike regardless of what nationality you are. So if you're going into an area and you're not sure if there are illegal aliens in this area from the South, you're going to have to ask questions of everyone in the room, including Puerto Ricans, veterans, and anybody else that's there. That's how an investigation works. Santo Dios.
You asked the question, is this what people voted for? I've actually seen some video this weekend of Latinos who voted for Trump crying because now their abuelas and their tios are getting deported. I'm having a very hard time mustering up any sympathy. And look, I'm an immigrant. I know the desperation that it takes to leave your country. Amongst immigrants in particular, there is no doubt that we want anybody who had the opportunity to come to this great country and committed a crime. We want them punished. We want them deported to the fullest extent of the law. But a lot of good, hardworking people who are in our schools, who are our colleagues, who own houses and businesses here, who are the parents of U.S. citizen children, are getting caught up in this.
No, they're not getting caught up in it as if they just happen to be collateral damage. They are a part of the problem. See, because they broke the law originally to come to this country. They've been lying this entire time and breaking the law in this country by being undocumented, regardless if they have businesses, regardless if they have homes, regardless if they go to school. That's all great. They still are here illegally and they broke the law. See, if I refuse to pay my taxes, if I refuse to claim my income and to show my income to the government for many years, you know what's going to happen? Regardless of how great of a citizen I am, once Uncle Sam finds out what I've been doing, Uncle Sam is going to come knocking on my door for his money. I'll have to pay a fine. And most likely we'll probably go to prison for lying all this time, because that's how laws work. You don't get omission from dealing with the crimes that you committed simply because you're a good person. That's not how laws work. There are a lot of good people. Okay, there are good people right now in jail who aren't bad people who just made bad choices, but they're still doing their time because they did the crime. That's how it works. So this whole idea that the left has where, well, they're a good person now, so we should just forget about what happened and just move on. No, that's not how laws work. See, when you break them and you continuously overlook them because he's a nice guy, what that does is incentivizes the next person to also cut in line and break the law because it worked for Pablo. And you know what? It's so insulting to people who actually worked really hard to come into this country legally to watch other people come to this country illegally, cut the line, lie, steal, and cheat to stay in this country, to get the benefits of this country, and then to have nothing done while that other person is still waiting in line for their turn because they did things the right way. How is it fair to them, Ana Navarro? And you say, you know, I'm an immigrant too. Yeah, you're a legal immigrant. You came to this country, from what we know, legally. You didn't come here illegally. If you did, you'd be in a plane right now too, sister. And you know that.
Because it's been reported that ICE offices all over the country have been given a quota. There is no way they meet that quota just with criminal aliens. And let me just say, I think that what he's done with the military, in addition to the legal aspects that may be involved, has a lot to do with a publicity stunt. The point is cruelty. The point is instilling fear, but it's also very costly. A charter DHS flight, it's been reported, is something like $8,500. A military C-130 is $816,000. So each one of those planes is costing us, so that he can have his picture and his photo up, 100 times more what a charter flight would be. And I have been saying for 2 months that people need to get prepared because he said this was coming and he's living up to this. So what does that mean? It means that the immigrants out there, if you're an undocumented immigrant, if you've got a kid in school, if you've got a U.S. citizen school, let that school know. Give them a list of adults that can go pick up that kid if you are taken in. Have your documents ready. If you can consult with a lawyer, por el amor de Dios, hágalo. And all of those people crying right now and feeling bad by the way they voted, there's going to be another election in 2 years. And we're going to have to wait 2 years of him. So if you want things to change.
And this is where I bow out, because now we're giving advice on how to break the law effectively. So you want to do this, you want to do that. Do you really want to be on air, Ana Navarro, giving advice to people who are already breaking the law, how to effectively continue to break the law by evading authorities? Is that what we're doing now? Yeah, we're doing that. Welcome to the left. Welcome. And I just find it funny, too, that she's talking about the price of what it's going to be to charter all of these people to their original national countries of origin. Well, think about how much money we've already been spending on people using our resources. Because something tells me that over time, that bill is going to be way larger and bigger than $800,000 to get them out of this country. Okay, we're talking about free benefits with healthcare, free cars, free food, free housing, free everything. Things that actual American citizens don't even have access to. And who's paying for that? Ana Navarro. Oh, that's right. We are. You know, just when you think they can't get any dumber, they always prove me wrong. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this video. What are your opinions on what's happening right now? What are your thoughts about that? Do you think he's doing it inhumanely? Do you think it's about time? What's your perspective? I would love to know in the comments down below. If you enjoy my content, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit my notification bell so you know when I post a brand new video. Until next time, peace.